Hello everyone. In my last video, A Year Full of Nightmares, I discussed how I eventually sought help from neurolinguistic programming so that I could unpack all the rubbish that had gone in my life before and no longer be affected by it. However, I didn't mention two books that I read that were an absolute mine of information and really helped me to figure out the ins and outs of meeting people, not just dating, but actually meeting people and seeing how I was being affected by their behaviours. And once you read these books, you think, well, why didn't I think of that? Why was I so stupid and made up excuses for those people, men and women, that were saying things like that to me? He's just not that into you. Now, that was given to me by a dear friend who had watched me go through all of these things, and probably he thought I needed a little help. And, I read it and I thought, well, obviously that's correct. I was one of those that were guilty of constantly making up excuses for others' behaviours. Oh, they're too busy. Oh, they just forgot. Oh, they this. Oh, they that. But actually, if people are really bothered and they want to speak to you and they want to have a relationship with you, it might be a platonic relationship or anything, but if they feel that you matter in their life, they certainly won't treat you so shoddily. And by you accepting all of their excuses, you are encouraging them to do more of the same. That is it's my book of the year to read if you want to have an equal relationship with anybody, actually, men or women, it doesn't matter. We're all human and we all seem to behave in the same way if we're not that bothered about somebody. So that was a real eye-opener. The other book that I read, and actually I researched and purchased myself, is this one. Stop Spoiling That Man. Now that says, stop spoiling that man, turn your needy guy into an equal. It's not so much about turning that needy person into an equal. It is allowing you to look at their behaviours and think, why are they behaving like that? What are they hoping to achieve? What is my usual reaction? And I know what mine is. There is one part in there that I absolutely know I react to in a classic way. When somebody starts shouting and banging around the house, I feel the need to placate them and take away the fact that they're banging and shouting and things like that. And I want to fix it. So I run around the house trying to find what they have lost. I know I'm triggered by somebody shouting, probably because of my mother. But nevertheless, I was still doing it. I was still running around trying to fix people's behaviour. But it also works for all sorts of relationships. So if you really want some good reading, whether you're in a relationship or not, we all have triggers that make us want to fix something. Once you stop, something magical happens, or they start doing it, and then suddenly you don't behave as they expected you to, and you don't get angry and say, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do this. You just stop quietly and walk out of the room. Now that is not a massive turn on the dial of the radio. That's not going in there and slamming your fist on the button and then shutting the radio down. That is nudging it a tiny, tiny bit to make it quieter and then walking out of the room. It does have the most amazing effect eventually. And the more you do it, you think, oh, am I going to get into trouble? Is that person going to carry on shouting? If you're not in the room, they've got no one to shout at. And a little later on, when they see that this pattern is arising in your new behaviour, they may well call you out on it. And then you can say, well, I knew you'd find it in the end, or something kind, not snarky, not sarcastic. If you have a relationship that has very high highs and extremely low lows, then do yourself a massive favour and go to a bookshop or go to wherever you buy your books and buy those two and then sit there and read them. You will learn insights into human behaviour. I think it's meant to be for dating, but actually it works for everyone. You will learn insights that will help you massively. And in the doing so, probably help your relationship too, if of course it's worth saving. Some of us have found that dead horse and tried to kiss it to life over and over again. But in the end, you can't resuscitate something that's flatlining. It will give you insights into behaviour. When I read the Stop Spoiling That Man book, I thought, oh my goodness, I do that. And when I read He's Just Not That Into You, I'm almost embarrassed to say that I have used every excuse in that book for somebody's bad behaviour toward me, giving them the benefit of the doubt. But you don't have to. You can get ahead of the game. Get those two books and have a read. And if you want to laugh, you can see me going through all of it at the time, making all those mistakes. And if you have been, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.